Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, during campaign, Ruto Gachagua was too loud to speak on behalf of police officers in this country. And when he was speaking like someone who was part of that disciplinary force. Because Gachagua was serving as a DO, and that means, of course, you closely associate with the administration, the police, and all those things. So when he was speaking like an insider, a person who understands what police were going through. These people promised heaven for police officers. They talked about their salary, they talked about their allowances, they talked about the environment in which they are working, the kind of houses police officers are staying in, and they were promising a different kind of lifestyle for police officers. In as much all this was happening, we are all aware that even in Uhuru regime, police officers had even started to get a house allowance in terms of you decide where to live. It's not a must, you just have to live in the camp and all those kind of things. But these people were very, very loud. So yesterday, Eric Omondi was revealing what police officers are reaching out to him and what they feel that this government should be doing and what they have failed to do. And this is a message from police officers through Eric Omondi to one William Ruto and Ruto Gachagua.
The Kenya police are not okay. The president promised them salary increment during his campaigns, which has not happened. Did you know that the starting salary of a policeman starts from 14,000 to 30,000? That's the range. They were promised salary increment and they cannot speak because they are uniformed. So I'll speak on their behalf because they've asked me to. Majority of them, when I meet them, they tell me, Bwana tafadhali tutete. They are not okay. They are in the line of fire. They are supposed to protect our children. They are literally putting their lives on the line and they earn 14,000. And that's not enough. They are still taxed. A Kenyan policeman is taxed, taxable income, monthly relief, pay as you earn, NHIF, NSSF, and housing levy. 14,000. You do your math. The Kenya police are not okay and they cannot speak for themselves. So I will do. Mr. President, you promised them and they have been speaking to me everywhere I meet them because they cannot speak. They are not okay and that means we might not be safe. Consider it, do it because you promised it.
Tumesema ndani ya siku 100 tutabadilisha terms of service of our policemen and women. Tuwapatie equipment ya kutosha, tuwapatie magari ya kutosha na tuwapatie allowance ya kutosha. Kazi yao ni moja, kulinda maslahi ya Wakenya, maisha ya Wakenya, biashara ya Wakenya.
And I met an officer as I was passing and he looked a little bit not himself. I think he had taken something, but surely it was not your water. And he asked me, wewe Rigiji, si mlisema ndani ya siku 100 mtaleta kamati ya kuangalia mishahara yetu? I want to tell you, please, msituharakishe. Don't count the 100 days from the day we were elected, the 9th of August. Start counting from 13th of September when President William Ruto was sworn in. Those days have not expired. They'll expire on the 24th of December. In the next 2 weeks, President William Ruto will unveil a task force to review your terms of service and conditions. And that task force will follow the bottom-up approach.
Now, we are continuing the panel discussion, but just a quick request for those who are watching and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our channel subscribers and anyone who drop comment, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, you can see, as Eric Omondi has mentioned, police officers are earning from 14,000 to 30,000. We have 14,000 jameni na bunduki. How safe is this country? That means ukwe wewe ni polisi wa jela, prison police, hizo vitengo zote. So he has put together, that's why you can see where 14 is there. And just imagine of that, Then put it in mind, we're going to talk about civil servants. Police officers are among civil servants. So when they say that they have to cut some of your money to do housing and all those other things, these officers are part of the people who are going to feel that pain. They will pay for housing allowance. Not housing allowance, house levy. They are going to pay for that. So put it in mind like that. And now we are here. They have to prepare to pay for taxable income, NHIF, NSSF, house levy, pay as you earn. With all this, then the highest earning person there, kwa mtu wa kawaida mwenye hana ile ranking, 30,000. So we were discussing this another day. Someone who is earning 30, you do all those deductions, this person will end up going home with maybe 22,000. The one with the 20,000, you end up going home with 14,000 there. Huyu wa 14 ataenda nyumbani na pesa ngapi? 11,000. These police officers are not, most of them are not with William Ruto. But it's only that they are in uniform. That's why they cannot stage a demonstration. It's prohibited. Once you are an officer, you can't protest. Once you are in a uniform, you cannot do that. That means it will be termed as a plan to overturn a regime. That's why these people cannot demonstrate. And what Eric is saying is true. This kind of police officers and other senior officials in the government, civil servants, who cannot speak for themselves, they will reach out with some kind of information to you so that you can speak on their behalf. Kuna wengine wanakaa mahali ya kwamba even when there's a scandal, they cannot speak directly, but they can leak it out to people who can come on social media and speak about it, so they can give you that, you talk about it, so that you expose it. And this is one of the reasons why, when you see we have mass action in this country, police officers will be fetched far away from some station deep there. Wanaleta kwa mfano Nairobi, utoe watu kama Sugoi huko, officers in a camp there. Uleta Nairobi wakuje wakabiliane na maandamano. Umejiuliza kwa nini kama kuna maandamano unaona the trucks na hizi lori za polisi na hata kubeba officers from nowhere, unaona wanapita wanaelekea mahali fulani. Unakuwa umejiuliza wametoka wapi? It definitely means that these are not officers who are operating in that jurisdiction. Hawafanyi huko. Hao wamepelekwa tu huko waende wakabiliane na maandamano kwa hiyo siku ama kwa hiyo wiki. The reason is most of these police officers are not comfortable to confront people. Only a few who are being used by the regime, and maybe with some few promises here and there just during that time. But it tells you that it's very clear, even police officers are not comfortable with this regime. The same way Ruto lied to Mama Mboga, Boda and hustlers is just the same way police officers were lied to. You tell me, just a single promise that Ruto gave to police officers and Gachagua, because Gachagua spoke too much, what have they delivered to police officers? It was all about uniform only. What is uniform? Uniform does not add any value in terms of resources to the pocket of a police officer. Haiongezi chochote. What matter is their lifestyle, their earning, and their environment. For example, we saw William Ruto forming a commission of inquiry. Na akaeka pale CJ Emeritus Maraga to go and lead the commission to check on the welfare of police officers. And Maraga, as a very faithful man, he went around the country, from village to town to city to urban areas, everywhere, to come out with a report and show the type of lifestyle and welfare in which police officers are staying in. It was a state of disaster. Like even in some areas, they don't have access to water. You check on the kind of housing they stay in. sad story. That is the life of police in this country. So the question is, after all that, what has Ruto done with that report? It was a long time, close to 4 months now. Maraga alirudisha report kitambo. So you see, they were trying to create a perception as if they are working for police officers to make sure that they are delivering that which they had promised. Sasa nini imefanyika? Nini imefanyika sasa? It was all PR exercise, just to make police officers feel like, this regime is going to work for us. Sasa wakisema maandamano wako hapo, wana depend. Sasa wale polisi wenye wanapiganga wananchi wakifanya maandamano, na unapata 14 to 30,000. Are you good here? Are you good here? Kwa nini mnakubali kutumiwa? Today now you have to pay house levy, a house that you will never claim. Utawaishi kwa hiyo nyumba, lakini unataka ulipe. Tunaongea kuhusu mambo ya NHIF. Polisi walitolewa kwa program ya NHIF, pesa yao ikawekwa kwa another program different, where even they don't get treatment the way NHIF is given. Today NHIF is dying. When people come out to speak about this issue and fight for you, guys, why do you turn against the people and you become cruel? But we know these are people who are just being paid, because I've told you the story how officers are being ferried from one location to another to come and commit this heinous act during mass action and protests. That's what normally happens. The reality is that even officers are now writing a disturbing and a warning notice to William Ruto through people who have voices to speak for them. And Eric Omondi is one of them. We have other people who will say these things. That's the reality. So police officers are sad with Gachagua and Ruto. Do you think you are safe in that state house? A day will come when these people will no longer protect you, when they will never come out against the people who are demonstrating. There will be a time when they will be singing and dancing with the protesters and the people who are leading mass action. That time will come. Jua kuna siku ingine tulienda kule Zimbabwe, when police officers were dancing with the people in the town from the time when Mugabe was overturned. Kuna siku walikuwa wanasherehekea wakidansi na wananchi. That time might come before Ruto finishes 5 years in office.